Hello all Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria, and we've got your July 2025 money and career reading right here. We do have some exciting things going on in the month of July, but we also have a couple little retrogrades going on. Okay, yes, we are headed back into some retrogrades after a little bit of a reprieve. We have had Pluto in retrograde for a while, and now we've got some other little planetary friends joining our friend Pluto. We have very significantly on the 4th of July. The 4th of July is actually a very busy day astrologically, but it can be really beneficial. Yes, we do have Neptune retrograding in the sign of Aries that day. This can bring you back to reality. This is an energy of Aries, is very much go-getter energy. It can be quite impulsive though. And so with Neptune, retrograding in that sign, this can be where we are a little bit more cautious because we look before we leap, we count to 3 before we respond, and we think before we act. So it's not an energy of you can't do something or you shouldn't do something. It is just one where we just need to make sure that we're just a little bit more cautious and a little bit more, how should we say, not quite as impulsive. There we go. All right. But Neptune can certainly be a planet that can help you with your creativity, with your dreams, right? It can be a very dreamy kind of energy. But it can also cause a little bit of confusion though, right? We don't always trust everything when Neptune is in the mix there. So this is where we get that second look at things. So, okay. So before you jump right into something, but retrogrades always do kind of encourage us to be a little bit reflective in our own energy. Also on that day, very exciting, Venus is in the sign of Taurus that day. So Venus in Taurus, Venus is the ruler of Taurus. Taurus rules your second house of money, your income, how you make it, how you spend it, your possessions, the things you own, the things you buy, the things you want, and also your beliefs around money and your own personal value and self-worth there as well. So Venus is in Taurus, and there's going to be a conjunction with Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus can set us free, so we can find freedom from old, outdated belief systems. We can find freedom from any bad habits that we may have around money. Some of you may find financial freedom. You could have something really exciting going on there because Uranus can certainly bring us some surprises. We never know what quite to expect when Uranus comes into the mix, just that something is going to shift, and usually quite suddenly and in unexpected ways. They may be small ways, sometimes it's subtle, but with a bigger impact, okay? And sometimes it's just like, whoa, what's going on? But all this happening in the sign of Taurus, so very much money, possessions, values oriented there. Also the same day, Venus enters the sign of Gemini, enters your sign here, guys. So this can be over the next few weeks. This can be really exciting with conversations. This can open doors for you, for friends, for romance, if you're so inclined, and of course your business and your money. So this can be really positive talks, really good time for some interviews. If you are headed that direction, really good time for communicating with a spouse or your family about money matters, setting household budgets, that kind of thing. So really good conversation can happen there. Uranus also enters your sign. This will be on the 7th. Okay, so the first week of July can be really interesting, to say the least, especially in your money matters. Uranus entering your sign is going to be the next few months that you're going to experience this energy. It's the beginning of a new era on some level. Sudden changes may happen. These can lead to revelations or revolutions, right? Uranus is a revolutionary energy, and just unexpected changes and happenings. So, so it's really good to, to be willing to make some changes or to go with the flow. And sometimes the changes aren't yours. Sometimes the changes are other people. And you are a conscious observer. But changes that happen with other people can sometimes open doors for you. We do also have, of course, 2 more retrogrades. On the 12th, Saturn is retrograde in Aries. This is where we may feel a little bit rebellious. We're breaking some rules and mixing things up a little bit. So again, there's kind of like some moving and shaking going on in the beginning of July. And then, of course, on the 12th, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Aries. So Mercury retrograde, we're all familiar with that. Okay, so Mercury is in shadow the entire first half of July before it does turn retrograde. So, we are going to be feeling this energy all throughout July. So, which is, again, a big reminder to double and triple check everything. Some people will say never sign a contract when Mercury is in retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde about 4 times a year. And the thing is, life goes on. So all we need to know is that when Mercury is retrograde, yes, things do have a greater chance of going just a little bit sideways, miscommunication, lost emails, that kind of like technology snafus, all that kind of stuff. So we just need to make sure that we leave a little extra space and time to do things, and also to double and triple check the finer details, maybe even get a second opinion. First card out for you, we've got the Fates. It's written in the stars here, guys. Interestingly enough, this is card number 17. 17 is the star card, Aquarian energy. Who is the modern day ruler of Aquarius? Uranus. So some big Uranus energy going on for you guys. And again, it can be quite unpredictable. Whatever we think Uranus is going to bring us, it's usually something a little bit different. But the Fates, this is beautiful energy. There's things written in the stars. Things are aligning for you. There may be big shifts happening for you here. You could maybe even have some luck on your side, right? So again, remember the secret to your success is going with the flow and being aware. Okay, remember we do have Pluto retrograde, and it's going to be retrograde all the way up until the middle of October. So, and it has been retrograde for a couple of months already. So you may already be thinking about where you can bring more power to your situation, right? And regain your own personal power and your own control over things, right? And, this can really give you a little bit of a confidence boost. But the Fates is a beautiful energy, some little bit of magical happenings going on. There's something already in motion for you guys here that's going to bring you some sort of blessings, okay? And sometimes we don't see the blessings right away, but they are lining up for you. We also have why. And this is that energy of questioning things, double checking things, making sure you understand things that are going on, okay? Especially in regards to your money or any kind of contracts or any kind of purchases, okay? Just because, okay, number one, why, when we ask the question why, or when we know why we're doing something, right, then we have more power, right? Because we're not just doing things willy-nilly. But the why can also be a very powerful question to ask that can bring you some knowledge. And knowledge, what does that bring you? Power, right? You're more powerful to make the right decisions, the right choices for yourself, and to make all the right moves. So ask why. Seek and you shall find, right? Were you one of those kids? You're very inquisitive there, Gemini. Were you one of those kids where you always got in trouble for asking too many questions? I was. I'm like, but why? Because I always wanted to know the bigger picture. I always wanted to know how things worked and how things affected other things, right? So, when you ask that very powerful question, it can bring you some wonderful, wonderful things. It can bring you the answers, but it can also take you to interesting places that maybe you never had discovered before, right? And so that Uranus energy is very much around you right now. Ace of Wands, beautiful. 3 of Wands, and the 3 of Cups. Wow, what a beautiful set of cards to come out right at the beginning of your reading. The Ace of Wands, new beginnings, new sources of inspiration, a flash, a spark of creativity. This can be some powerful new energies coming in as they are, right? The Ace of Wands can be something manifesting in your life and your power to bring something to life. So if you've been waiting for something to come in, Three of Wands, okay, get ready to celebrate. Three of Cups. A lot of creative energy here, a lot of creation energy coming in here. So if you're looking for a new job, a new investment opportunity, or just a better way to deal with your current circumstances so you can make improvements, even if you don't have any extra money coming in, there's ways that you can find money often, right? And sometimes it's just reevaluating, reassessing your budget, really looking at your bank account to see where are you bleeding money. Right. And when you get that under control, I mean, are you, do you stop at Starbucks every morning and you get your $5 latte and, your $10 breakfast? Right. Or, can you purchase a really good, thermal mug and make your coffee at home and prepare some morning breakfast that you can just grab and go? Right? Probably save yourself like $50, $100 a week sometimes, right? So sometimes you can find that money that's already there and you can spread it out a little bit more, and then those little trips to the coffee shop become more of a treat. So with the Ace of Wands, we can be bringing in new and exciting things or finding new and exciting ways of dealing with what we already have so that we can feel more prosperous and abundant. But the Three of Wands, this can certainly represent the path forward is clear. If you've been waiting for a universal green light, here it is. Okay. The Three of Wands can certainly represent waiting for the right moment, the right time to make some moves. You're waiting for the right opportunity. You're opening doors already here in this energy. Now, the Three of Wands can be certainly your opportunities opening up to move forward, onwards and upwards, perhaps for some of you here. But it's also an opportunity to do something fun because the Three of Wands can be about travel and adventure. So this can be a new destination that you go on, you make a purchase. Okay, sometimes we don't just spend our money on the day-to-day needs, right? We spend it on the things that are exciting. And so this can be you, maybe you've got some travel plans that you're making with some friends with that Three of Cups, right? It's very exciting energy. It can be one of really good news coming in, the kind of good news where you phone up your friends and you're like, oh my God, you're never going to believe what just happened. And your friends are like, oh my God, that's so exciting. Let's go out for a drink. And you go celebrate. But the Three of Cups there can certainly be some sort of bring really good news, or it can be, of course, some group support system somewhere. So supportive people, you're creating things, or you're having fun, you might be traveling. So it is really exciting energy there for you. 10 of Cups. Wow. You certainly got some positive vibes going on here. Two of Wands. You've got both the Two and the Three of Wands. And we've got the Death card. So I'm going to say right off the bat here that there could be exciting things happening, but because we've got the Three of Wands coming out first, and then we've got the Two of Wands, and we've got the Death card, okay, it's like we're stepping back and we need to make some changes. Now, I will say, with Mercury retrograde, which is affecting our month, let's face it, travel bookings, travel plans can hit some snags. They can hit some little snafus, and there could be some necessary changes to make. Now, it might be that you are maybe booking some travel, or you're talking with your friends or your family, even, where are we going to go? What do we want to do? And there could be something here out of your control, right? Because 10 of Cups, happy home, happy family, right? Getting along all together, doing some fun things, right? And so, but there is change here. So it can be that, for maybe world circumstances or something, you may have to change your destination. So the Two of Wands, you could potentially be going back to the drawing board, okay, and you're navigating some changes. This may be that maybe there's some scheduling conflicts. Those can come up with Mercury retrograde as well. So again, you might have to reevaluate where you're going or when you're going even as well. So you could have those things going on. Okay, but but again, the vibe is pretty high for you guys. So whatever changes that you may need to make, okay, it might be annoying at first, but ultimately will result certainly in some really good happy vibes. The 10 of Cups is out, right? So the 10 of Cups, happy energy, happy home, happy family, happy life, enjoying yourself. You're optimistic, you're positive about things. And of course, we could have some really wonderful news that is life-changing, right? I mean, the Death cards, it can be a scary card, right? Only because it can represent endings. And it also represents change, which people in general don't like change, right? Even if things aren't really what we want at the moment, right? We can certainly, be a little bit afraid of the unknown. And that's why we don't like change. But embrace change. When we embrace change and don't resist it, it's easier to navigate. Okay, so sometimes we just got to roll with things, roll with the punches, but you can also be in control of your own change. Now, the Death card can certainly be endings, new beginnings. The Death card is ruled by Pluto. And again, we've got Pluto in Aquarius, right? And it is retrograde. So again, we are reassessing, reevaluating our circumstances or our wishes, our goals, our dreams, and we're getting ourselves back on track or into alignment with where we want to be right now. Where do we want to be career-wise? Where do we want to be with our money? Where do we want to be, with our household, right? All these things. And remember, you have the power to change, right? And, but you might need to face some fears. Now, the Death card, Pluto energy is Scorpio energy. You could be dealing with a Scorpio person. But also with this, it's the 8th house energy there. And the 8th house is those things that are inevitable, right? Births, deaths, taxes, inheritances, other people's money, loans, things like that. So again, there might be something here where you might get some freedom. Potentially, you might get financial freedom in some way because you're dealing with loans or you're paying off a loan. You could be making a purchase, okay? You're thinking about things with the 2 of Wands and, you might be making a purchase and you might be taking out a loan, but it's a positive thing for you, right? How is debt? No one wants to be in debt, but sometimes we have to take out those loans to get things that can benefit us now. All right, whether it's mortgages or a car loan or things like that. You could even be in this energy, you could even be perhaps reestablishing like lines of credit and things like that as well. But ultimately, the Death card is there, bringing in new beginnings, endings, transitions, and maybe even feeling a little bit reborn. Got the Queen of Swords, Temperance, and we've got the Page of Cups. Beautiful. So again, something could be changing with your children. Something could be changing in your household. But we have the ability to fix things. Now, the Queen of Swords certainly can speak to making some really good decisions, thinking clearly, logically, and asking all the right questions. The Queen of Swords is really an energy where we are open and receptive to information or to talking about things, to having a conversation, but we're using our mind, right? And again, even though we got some exciting energy coming in here, we're not letting our emotions run away with us, right? We've got fiery energy, we've got action energy, right? We've got this inspirational energy, we've got go-getter energy going on, but we are making sure that we're keeping our wits about us here and making all the right decisions and all the right moves. So that's a really awesome energy there. The Queen of Swords can also help you as an energy to let go, cut away certain things that have been holding you back. So if you've been feeling like you've been in a rut, or you feel like you've been stagnant, or there are some things that you need to let go, like fears and worries and doubts, maybe old beliefs, that kind of thing. The Queen of Swords, she's your gal. And this can certainly be an energy residing within you. You're using your intuition and you're seeing things from a different perspective. The Queen of Swords can also also certainly come up as a wonderful communication. So good, again, for interviews, really good for asking for those raises, or just going for knowing what you want and not hesitating in, asking for it or going for it or speaking your truth, speaking your mind. The Queen of Swords can also be a person that you could potentially be dealing with in the month ahead. And this person could probably have some really good advice for you. But they're going to tell it to you like it is. They're going to just tell you the facts, and they're not going to sugarcoat anything for you, right? And that's often really quite what we need. It's like, just tell me, like, just give me the information. I don't need fluff and flutter. I just want the facts, right? And so this can certainly be a really positive person there. But we do have the Temperance card. So whatever your situation is, take your time and be patient. The Temperance card can certainly be one of guidance. It can be one of, really trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition, right? Because why? Because you've got this protection coming in from your guides as a guardian angel card, right? So you're guided and protected at all times, but you could have that little voice whispering in your ear. Go this way. Don't do this. Go down this path, right? And quite often our intuition will lead us down a little bit of a path less traveled, but it feels right. Okay, so trust your instincts there. But the Temperance card is Sagittarian energy as well. So you could be dealing with a Sagittarian person, you got a Scorpio person, right? But we've got Jupiter who is in the sign of Cancer right now. We've got Page of Cups, right? So a little bit of water sign energy coming in there. But Jupiter in Cancer, this can be about nurturing your home, your family, your relationships, the things that make you feel safe and secure. And money can certainly be part of that, right? When we feel lack, when we feel like we don't have enough, we don't feel safe and secure. So this can certainly be where you are, really setting the stage to feel good about where you are right now. And especially with any decisions that you make in regards to your money or your career path, right? And it may be just a month for you where, again, you're going with the flow. But the Temperance card, it can certainly represent everything in moderation. It's fixing things, it's healing things, it's finding balance and harmony. And so it's really a very peaceful kind of energy. But we do have the Page of Cups here, so there could certainly be some good news, new opportunities coming your way, and something, again, that you didn't expect. When we get the Page of Cups, we often get a surprise. Out of this particular deck, we're using our imagination, or it's a very dreamy kind of energy. And, it's like a sense of wonder. And so you could get something that's happening where you thought that, this is the When Pigs Fly card. Out of this deck, we got a little flying pig. Okay. And, we all use that terminology every once in a while. Oh yeah, that'll happen when pigs fly. Well, the pigs are flying. Okay. So there could be something here where either you're really got one hell of a dream that you wanting to follow. It involves creativity. It may involve a fresh start, a new beginning, but it's like almost like your dreams or your fantasies have the potential to come true. Okay. For some of you, there's also a little bit of love in the air, right? We did touch on that a little bit earlier. Love, love and friends and romantic partnerships can certainly affect your money, your career path, or your outlook on those things. And this is all positive vibes there for you. So sometimes, if you're single and you've been working really hard, this month can really actually bring in some significant shifts in your love life. So if you've been working a lot of overtime, you could have an unexpected meeting somewhere here, and this causes you to maybe reassess how you're spending your days. So, when we meet when we meet someone exciting, we do tend to shift around our schedule a little bit to make room, right? So, so that can be really exciting for you there as well. And so maybe you work some less hours, or it changes, your, again, perspective on what you're doing with your day-to-day life, right? So, but some of you could have some romantic partnership there that's taking a significant turn, a significant shift for the better. And again, maybe you're blending your resources, moving in together, having children, right? The Page of Cups can be a pregnancy card. Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer for the next year, and it can be a little bit of a baby boom. And of course, that will certainly change your finances. But look at all the joy and the happiness that it would bring. So you guys have like super positive reading here, the best so far. And so embrace it, claim it, live it, love it, keep an open mind, keep a positive perspective, and you just never know what's going to head your way or what doors are going to open for you there. Keep an eye out. I'm going to leave all that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. If so, please do like, share, and subscribe. I thank you guys so very much for watching. Have a fantastic month, and I'll see you later. Bye.